Happy Monday, September 2nd, 2024, Labor Day. This is Nancy from Neha Inc. here at the Calhoun Park Handball Court, located in Springfield, Mass. At the corner of Jefferson Ave and Dwight Street. You could also get on Chestnut Street and on the other side, Dwight Street. But the best location or address I can give you at the moment is 85 Jefferson Avenue, right? It's right across from those apartments. Whose kid is that? Why is he on the court? What is he doing? Why is he doing that? I know. He's testing out the handball wall.
You're doing it, Big Will. What I'm testing out is obvious, which is the obvious. This would be one of the best courts at Calhoun Park and in Springfield. But obviously, I always look at the pros and cons of something. You know, when I did the parging, although everything else is looking beautiful, that should have been parged better. So that's what I'm looking at. How much is it going to affect play? I see minor, ricochets. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk to them about possibly grinding down some of the areas that are higher than others. The right thing to do is for them to actually parge that the way they were supposed to parge it. And to do something like that, they probably would have to even remove paint. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with that. That's why you got to kind of get it right before. You don't go after and put a coat of paint on it. Because all those seams on the form should be very faint. The other side, they did a better job with it. But this side, and I think this side is going to be the more used side because of the time of day at 3, 4 o'clock where the sun is kind of behind you. But this is still going to be one of the best courts that we have in Mass for location, and the running space is 11 and 3 inches on each side at about 16 feet in the back. There's a mild pitch here and there, but it's really not too bad. The color scheme is great. The park, when it's actually completed, is fantastic. The reason why I nitpick at those things is because they are going to come up. You know what I mean? Provided that the area is good, like the floor, the color scheme, and things like that, the running space, the fencing, then you learn to kind of ignore a little bit of the imperfections on the wall. But it doesn't mean that it's not mentioned, because we have another wall that's being done as we speak at Kenneth Park, and they sandblasted that right to the core, basically, of the concrete. So whoever is going to be doing the parging, it can't be done in a, it can't be done in an improper way. You know what I mean? So we're hoping that whoever does it is really knowledgeable of what they're doing, and it's smoothed all the way across. Because we're already going to be living with these slight imperfections on this wall.
The other side, show them the other side.
We'll go to the other side, but here, even the expansion joint in the middle, to me, on the wall, wasn't necessarily necessary. You know what I mean? Because I've never really seen the crease on a wall like that. It's not going to expand to crack or anything, but it becomes something that I noticed just right in the center, which is going to be hard to hit right there. Well, that's what I try to look at. How is it going to hit? Pretty close to there. And that's the way I look at it. Is when you play, how is it going to feel? Where are the waves? If it's not too bad, then you're going to live with that. See if they're going to bounce and ricochet wrong is what I'm looking for. Where you have a clear shot and it just goes out for no reason at all. You know what I mean? And even aesthetically, you don't want it to look like that, where you have those little imperfections. But like I said, because of all the other beauty around it, with the floor, the color scheme and everything, it's something that may be either fixable now, they can take a look at it, or if not, overlooked and just concentrate on all the pros of the court. You know what I'm saying? The location, the fencing, and all of the things that Springfield has lacked in a long time. Kenneth was very usable originally, but it never had the fencing, and it did have the funny wall. And the one over there at Calhoun, the wall wasn't that bad, but it never had good running space, and the floor was always really bad. Even when they redid it, it was very wavy. So we're gonna look at the other side. You can see the difference of the margin. They did fix this to the 16. This might be off half an inch, I'm not sure. We measured it.
You're
the
talking
same
up
thing
to
with
the front wall
short
to the
line
short
and
line.
the long line, the straddles. We can live with a half inch or 3/4 of an inch when they do a line. We just can't, have 2 or 3 inches, or in the case before was 2 feet. So you can live with that. Here. This side of the wall was parged as well, but it was not parged enough. You know what I mean? It's just like when you're using plaster. You're trying to get rid of the seams. You're trying to get rid of you're not going to create low and high spots. And on the wall in a home, it's not going to matter as much as long as it looks good. Here, if you create some high points and some low points, you have to be careful. This side was done better than the other side. See these things like this? But here and there, like if you see that has to have been filed down. It's a stone. You just grind it just a little bit, so that way you run your hand on it and it shouldn't hit a ball and make it go, somewhere else. So I can see that right here. So they have to look at that and do a slight thing, a slight grind. Because if you keep it like that, this is gonna hit funny on that spot. Like I said, this side's a little bit better. This is the side with the higher pitch. Just looking for irregular bounces and stuff like that. But remember, we had that problem in Lawrence too at Costello Park. When you have a wave, even in Waterbury at Lakewood Park, that one was really, really bad. And those are things you try to catch initially, so that way something is done about it before you try to live with it and try to do it yourself. You try to make sure that they can get on there. And when it's contracted, depending on their contract, they usually have about a year to fix things that go wrong with the court. They have to have some type of warranty. But also in things that they made, that they've done wrong. This, like I said, is pretty good. We're probably going to be able to live with the wall. This side, with the way the sun is hitting, you don't even notice the forms, like the little thing. But at a certain time of the day later, you're going to see that it does have the same kind of creases on the wall. So we're going to have to see if those high points can be at least grind down just a little bit. But other than that, the pitch was improved. The space here is enlarged. This is more space than what we have at Crompton Park. 11 or 3 inches. It's a good amount of space. 16 in the back. Because it's good for reffing, it's good for running space. You know what I mean? You need to be able to run up the court. There's also just setup wise, you know what I mean? When you have people coming in, waiting for necks, or just when you're running a tournament, you have a place to kind of set up within the boundaries of the court, which in some cases, because it's nice grassy area, we have a large grassy area right outside that people can actually set up as well. But usually you want to be as close to the court as possible, or even inside somewhere where you have a table for brackets and things like that. So that's good, and that's something that we always factor in. Because it's hard, to be within the court in case there's an issue and you're too far away from the location where you're running the event. By the time somebody comes to you, maybe a problem and maybe something's not resolved. So.
All right, everybody. See everybody at another time and update you on the Calhoun Park Handball Court project. Have a wonderful Labor Day. Today is Monday, September 2nd, 2024. Bye-bye.